Now playing the Hook and Bridge podcast.
I fucking love Kesha. I'm telling you, I'm the worst person to have a podcast. I can barely speak.
Oh my god, I love Green Day!
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hook and Bridge podcast. I am your host, Harley, joined by my co-host and little sister, Taylor.
Hello, hello.
And I am super excited as a child of the 90s.
So stoked.
I am very excited to have the incredible band Showoff on the show today, guys.
Chris, we have people pay for that content. I'm just letting you know.
Chris is only going to do
only
visuals until the video of this comes out.
I don't even
Wrong
know
show.
what you named me, Mickey.
Hey, have I told you today that I love you? Only feet.
Wow.
You're gonna give the dogs for free?
We haven't even gone
Yeah.
through the whole introduction, and we just went right to the feet.
Listen, our label has already yelled at us for our idea of just becoming a feet-only band, and
Yeah,
That's
I think you should.
hilarious.
so we're no longer working with Manicat.
we're done with towing their line.
Yeah.
Oh
starting
my
off having
God.
fun.
I'll be back in an hour.
Yeah.
After
Yeah,
that.
man, I'm super stoked for this, guys. I know there's some newer guys in the band as well, but like, I don't know if you've ever watched the movie. I'm guessing probably not, but maybe. The Digimon movie from back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Your song was on that movie on the soundtrack, and I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've watched that movie.
I
was
love
such
that
a big Digimon fan. In the
Yeah.
day. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, I
and-
actually just started watching that for the first time as an adult, like a couple weeks ago. And to be honest, I fell asleep halfway through, so I did not even get to our song. I was waiting for it.
No!
I was like,
And
"When's
that-
it gonna come on? When's it gonna come on?" And then I woke up and it was done. I'm like, "Oh,
And that's coming from quite possibly the nerdiest guy in the band.
yeah, easily the dirtiest."
So
So the
good.
next time that we do your podcast, there'll be a new guitar player.
Who will be in a different color stupid rat hat.
Yeah.
So, Chris and Mickey, I gotta ask, did you guys watch the movie back in the day?
No.
No. I've never seen it actually.
Yeah,
That checks
that's-
out.
I thought that was gonna be the case.
It's really great.
I should. I just never got around to it.
I only remember if Spill pops up on a playlist and it's from the Digimon soundtrack, so I see the little.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was such a great movie when I was a kid.
Staple in our
and
childhood.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
say as not a 90s child, but staple in our childhood.
yeah. I was born in '94, but also,
I
you
was too old.
guys- Yeah, well, and see, that was my whole thing. Is like, you guys were probably in your 20s when that came out, and I
I
would.
mean, I was like 12, so I don't know.
I remember I had a Digimon themed like birthday party when I was like 7. So I probably went and saw the movie and heard the song how many
Mhm.
years ago. And-
Right?
And then I ended up in the band 20 years later.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Remember Gage in New York? From Like Ghosts or whatever, when he like ran over and he was like, "Oh my god, you're the band from the Digimon soundtrack."
Oh yeah. Yeah,
We
there was a
started
band
playing
we were
Spill,
playing the show. He's in one of the bands on our label, and he was like, "You guys started playing that song," and I was like, "Wait, I know that song. Like they're covering that song. That's cool." And then he was like, "Wait a minute, that's the band who plays the song."
It is the band.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a big one for me back in the day. But you guys have had other hits too. Falling Star, right? It was number 36 on Billboard.
Yeah, Chris's favorite song.
love that.
Chris,
song.
Chris can do an hour about how great that song is.
Nope,
I
I cannot.
it wasn't, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't as good as Spill for me. But I think that it's a great song. That being said, though, this new EP you guys have, I have a ton to say about.
Hopefully,
I
nice
wrote
thing.
it. Yeah, I wrote it myself exclusively.
I mean, I think you'll find that Brian and I wrote it
Mostly.
Yeah.
primarily.
Why they
Yeah.
were in the
Nikki
band.
actually wrote all the drum parts first, and we just filled in everything
Yeah.
after that. So most people do like lyrics or guitar riffs first, but we actually decided to do drums first and
Yeah,
figure out what to do from there.
I mean, Evan, when me and Evan started talking, he told me immediately how terrible every song was.
Yeah. Just no redeemable qualities on there.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed The Day You Left.
Thank you.
I think that's like the standout track personally on the EP. Hey, he's got a dog too.
I know. I'm trying to show my dog off, but she ran off.
Just ask him the dog's name. Ask him the dog's name.
What's the dog's name?
Poop.
I love that.
Hey, hold on.
This is
They
going to be
poop.
one of the wild interviews.
Yeah, I have
That's
questions about the dog, but I'll let you finish up the music questions.
You
first.
guys, when you guys agreed to this, you had no idea what was about to happen.
No clue. I've got to stop and figure out why is the dog's name Poop?
So when we adopted him, his name was Lapu.
Okay.
I see.
Rachel from the show Friends. It was her dog's name when
Mhm.
she was like a kid or whatever. But then I always end up calling people shorter versions of their name. So it just turned into Poop. Plus,
Became
it kind of
Poop.
looks like either if you look at his legs, he either looks like a piece of fried chicken or maybe Poop.
Definitely a piece of fried chicken.
It should
The
also
first-
be noted that Chris wrote Falling Star about Rachel from Friends, too.
My
Well,
daughter.
the first
staring at
time-
me.
The first time I talked to Chris,
was
I was
insane.
at my dog's best friend's birthday party, and there was a miscommunication over text message, and I thought that Chris was telling me that his dog's name was Pizza Rolls, and I'm still upset that it's not.
It absolutely should be pizza rolls.
Also, your dog's best friend's birthday party.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah,
call.
okay.
I needed to call that out too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
mine-
thought I misheard it.
No, you did not. It's
Okay.
my dog's best friend, who's also a dog, was
I
having a
figured.
birthday party, and
It would
that's
be
where-
really weird if it was like a 65-year-old man.
Yeah.
Dude, dogs can have friends. Don't be weird about it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Depends on what you're doing at this party.
Yeah. What are the activities at a dog's birthday party?
Swimming.
Do you
don't
still
wanna
pin the
know.
tail?
No, we were like it was like a party. We were hanging
You
out.
played
There were
fetch.
snacks. There were presents. There was,
Yeah.
It'd be
it was a
funny
party.
if the dogs put all the people in kennels and the dogs
Yeah.
just walked around the house eating
That
food.
would be funny.
Yeah.
That'd be ironic, I think.
I feel like that's an art film somewhere.
It's like rain. Rain.
That's as much as we can sing. No more.
That's good. That's
that
never
actually
gonna
is
leave
as
us.
much as we can sing.
So, do you guys put like little hats on the dogs at this party?
Ooh, those
really
No,
messed
they
up
would
the
not
party.
stand for that.
Oh, I would force a
Only
hat on
big
the dog.
hats.
Were there multiple dogs? How many dogs
I was
came to this
just
party?
the two dogs. That's enough dogs.
Oh,
What?
This sounds
This
a
is a-
lot lamer than I pictured.
He has
it.
one friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
no,
This is a bullshit dog party.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
We
was
need
thinking
to
like
throw a real dog party. We're talking 50
Not-
dogs.
Howdy.
Not to
Beverly
be
Hills
rude.
Chihuahua.
Yeah, not to be rude, but your dogs are losers.
Yeah. Only two friends.
Yeah,
That is
okay,
not
who's bringing all the bitches?
Yeah. Steve crossing the line.
And you didn't even invite Poop. That's messed up.
Yeah, bro.
I was learning about his existence, and I thought that his name was Pizza Rolls. That was the whole point of the story. Was I couldn't have invited him because I didn't have his name.
Yeah, but what?
So, Evan, if you ever invite me to a party, I'm not showing up. It's just you and me, man. It's just you. Just the two of us.
Well,
And where are the dogs?
We should lotion each other with each other's bodies.
You're gonna throw a party doggy
Now it's
style.
getting a party started, right?
to be
there.
clear, I did not throw this party.
I was
at
gonna say
the
it wasn't
party.
Evan's party.
You
Call
agreed
him
to
out.
it.
Who threw the party?
I'm not saying that I could have thrown a better party, but I didn't throw that party.
Call
was
out
your
his name.
friend's name?
I bet he listens to this podcast, so you should totally call him out right now.
Yeah,
the
what's his
dog
name?
for sure.
Yeah, the dog absolutely
Oh.
listens to this podcast.
I want to hear Brian's thoughts on this.
I have 0.
That's probably the correct thought.
Okay, so, I have to gather my thought now. I forget what I was actually.
Just to
That-
warn you, this entire podcast is going to be like
So
Yeah,
just so
you're
you know,
gonna
it's
trying to
been
gather thoughts the whole time.
Pumpkin.
yeah. So far, we should just mention that this podcast has been "Where'd you get those hats?"
this. Yep.
Digimon soundtrack, shitty dog party.
Kimmy
It's true. Those are the chapter notes.
Those
for
are the
sure.
chapter notes.
Yeah.
So-
Steve's keeping minutes, so
So the new EP, how do you pronounce it? Haverstraw?
Haverstraw.
Haverstraw?
Haverstraw.
What is Haverstraw? What does that mean?
It's the town in New York where we recorded. It
Oh,
was
sure.
originally going to be called West Haverstraw Bagel because it's a place that we would go to like
Mhm.
every morning and get food, and it's amazing. And the people love us there. But we just shortened it to Haverstraw, and it's a great name because it confuses people.
Yeah, and it should be mentioned that when we told Pete that we were going to name it Haverstraw, and he was like, "Really? If you want to."
That's actually how we respond to every single one of our messages. So it's
Either that or are you kidding?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the EP. Like I said, the Day You Left is one that I thought is a really big standout song. Inside Her Head is really good as well, but I feel like that's kind of the one that's going to be more popular. It seems to me like that's the one that people are kind of gravitating towards. And I hate being the guy that likes everything that everybody else likes.
Gotta be different.
So I really enjoyed The Day You Left, but also Misery is fantastic. So I'm curious, there is a definite sound change between this record and the last record. But the change, like you kept conceptually some of Showoff stuff with like an updated like sonic sound. Like your voice, Chris, is the same, but
Thank you. I try.
but the
He does sound
guitar-
older.
Yeah,
It might be because I am older.
What?
we did actually record in a retirement community in Haverstraw. That was actually Haverstraw Retirement Community. But
I would say that your voice is more mature, not older, more mature.
It's wiser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My voice now has a job and owns a home.
Yeah, right,
has a
right.
few gray hairs in the beard.
It's been through some shit.
Yeah.
It saw the 90s.
Don't ask it about Nam.
but how about like the music change? Like how did that come about? It's just like an updated sound. Like it's still you, but it's like an updated, more instrumental, kind of heavier, I would say. Is that fair to say? You guys agree with that?
Yeah, that's probably the influence of Steve. I think he has a little more kind of metal roots.
Yeah.
So I think that probably has some influence there on the sound. But it's anytime you change lineups, you're really you start writing stuff and then you kind of generate whatever sound comes out. And it's best to do it that way, like rather than just trying to write everything. And I mean, with the old version of Showoff, I wrote all of it. So with this, it's like lots of times we come up with songs where we're at rehearsal and we just decide, hey, let's try to come up with something and come up with ideas, and someone will have a riff and then I'll come up with a vocal melody over that, or we'll come up with the music and Mickey will write his drum parts, and we'll just start coming up with new things and different things, and each person kind of like puts their little layer in there, So you're going to have a slightly different sound, but yeah, my voice is probably not going to change. I mean, it will eventually. Probably in like a couple years is where I'm going to hit that like, oh fuck, like I just aged like 30 years. It's going to be like, baby,
Well,
lonely.
I will say like your voice is, and I do mean it, like more mature in the sense of like it's crisper, it's more rehearsed. You know what I mean? Like you can tell between your earlier work and this work that it's you've developed your vocal cords themselves, and it's probably from just years upon years of doing it, right?
I think it's years and years of smoking cigarettes, but
That could be too.
Gives best vocals.
that's true. There's a story about Frank Sinatra that he used to sing like in the 30s before he got big, right? He was singing and his voice was like, it was decent or whatever. And people thought he was a decent singer, but something happened where when he was singing, he actually like ripped something in his throat and then it healed. And when it healed, he got his signature sound came from that. And I think, as you get older, you do tend to like, if you're practicing, the thing that I always view myself as a professional, like doing the thing that I do that I love to do and trying to get better at it as much as I can. And so, you practice things and you start like going through these motions. I actually started singing when I was like 2 and I would sing at my parents' church and wiggle around until they drop me and then go up to the front of the stage and try to sing. But now I think, you get a little older. And I think what ended up happening was back in the day, I had like mainly pop punk influence, that's what I listened to. I mean, not just pop punk, but, just punk rock stuff. And that's what I listened to. And so you didn't really try to do a lot of acrobatics vocally,
Mm-hmm.
But the older you get, like the more wide your tastes become. And so you start like singing along with different things or thinking of different melodies. And I think I just got to a point where those influences probably show a little more. And I think you get a little older, you get a little more mature with like where you decide to go vocally with a melody or something,
Mm-hmm. For sure.
But I give all credit to Beelzebub. So
Yeah.
Hail
praise
Cthulhu.
team. I'm just kidding. It worked for the bands in the 80s though, right? They were all like, we worship the devil, and then they all got big. It was weird.
Molly Crew, man.
Right?
I mean,
Like even Poison.
Yeah.
Like really?
Yeah.
I mean, if you listen to enough of it, you're like, yeah, for sure the devil came up with that.
So not to bounce back to it, but the Digimon movie and Spill, how did that get initiated? Were you guys approached and somebody was like, hey, we think this would be a great fit for this movie?
Yeah, actually, one of the people who, an animator from the film, heard our stuff and then came to a show. And then he was talking to us, and he offered to buy the song outright. And then I was like, nope. And so he was like, yeah, well, we can do the film. And he flew us out to Japan. Okay, none of that happened. What actually happened was our manager was like, do you want to have your song in the movie Digimon? And I was like, what the fuck is Digimon? Pokemon, right? And they're like, no, Digimon. And I was like, okay, I don't know anything about this stuff at this point because I'm literally just on the road,
Right.
So I don't know anything about what the fuck is happening any place. And I'm just like, is this like whatever the Wish version would be back then? Like of Pokemon? Like, what is this?
Pokemon that can talk.
What's that?
Pokemon that can talk. That's what I
There you
describe
go.
it as to people.
Hey, that's pretty rad. So I didn't know that. I still didn't know that. But I was like, I mean, yeah, that's cool. Let's do it. And I think if I'm right, doesn't Len do a cover of Kids in America? And that's like the main theme.
Yeah.
So we were offered that theme. Like they asked if we would do Kids in America. And then
Was
it
that
would
the
be
same version that ended up in the Jimmy Neutron movie? Because I
Yep.
think they did
Mhm.
that too.
Yep.
Yeah, so they were like, "Would you do Kids in America?" And it'll be the feature for the film. And like two of the people in the band, and I don't remember which ones it was. I can guess, but I won't. They were like, "Fuck no, we're not doing Kids in America." And they're like, "Well, can we use the song Spill?" And then I was like, "I'm saying hard yes. Like, I don't know all about this thing, but I like most of the stuff, and I think it comes out of Japan too, right?"
Mhm.
And I'm all about Japanese stuff, so I was like, "Fuck yes, we're doing it." I wanted to do Kids in America because I was like, we could do a fun cover of that. It would be fun.
Yeah.
Like, fuck,
Oh, I
that's
mean-
not punk rock, and I'm like,
That covers like the first like introduction of that
Yeah.
song for me. Being a kid, like I said, I think that a lot of people don't realize how much influence that particular movie had at that time.
Oh yeah.
Like it was huge when I was a kid. And it had some of the greatest music ever. Like you guys were there. Lynn was in there. It's
Don't ask me.
1 Week by the Bare Naked Ladies.
No,
Like
yes.
I never would have known that song. Smash Mouth was in there. Like
Yeah.
the soundtrack is fucking killer on that movie.
Nice.
It's insane.
yeah, I didn't. So I didn't know any of those bands were on there other than Len.
Yeah.
But now I feel like I have to watch the movie. Steve and I do movie night. We only done it
Oh, yeah.
one time.
Yeah, we had this
stumbled on the
tradition of
couch.
one time we did a movie night.
And we watched
Yeah, I always hear about this tradition, but I've yet to see it happen.
Yeah. You have to watch the first half so you and Steve can
Yeah,
watch
there
the
you go.
second half together.
You guys can cuddle up in a blanket together.
Yeah.
Aw.
I,
What we did the last
Chris, I
time,
think
and we
I
had
think Chris, you should watch the second half, and then between the two of you, you can put a summary together for the rest of us.
There you
Wait, that's
go.
way better.
I think I'll just not do that,
Fair. That's fair. Yeah.
and then we can all watch it for a movie night together. All
There
five
you
of
go.
us.
Aw.
Maybe all seven of us if you guys
That'll-
come in.
cool.
We should
That'll
watch
be
it in
good.
Japanese and try to
Where
figure
are
out
you
what's
guys
going
located?
on.
We're in Virginia.
We're in Virginia.
That's pretty fucking far from here. But if you want to make the drive, you can stay the night at Steve's house.
Hey.
Chris always offers people to stay at my house.
Can I wear a hat?
Yeah, you can wear a hat.
Cool.
That's actually it's a requirement. You have to be wearing a stupid rat
Okay.
hat.
Yeah,
in the
yeah. He
house.
keeps them
Got
at
it,
the
got it,
front of
got
the
it.
house.
Yeah.
Take off your shoes and wear a hat. You know.
Yeah, got it.
Steve.
Shit, that's so funny.
Yeah, no, that's the best part too. So we rehearsed at my house, and Chris always likes inviting people before I even know it. Like when we first started looking for people, as we were getting this iteration going again, and Chris was like, "Oh yeah, we've got like 3 people coming to your house today." I'm like, "Cool, you're just sending my address to random people."
Yeah.
He's like, "They're
Look,
probably not going to kill
All
you."
I'm saying is, it's not my house.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair.
You know,
That's all that
I
really
care
matters.
What happens to you, Steve? But I mean, I'm not so worried. You know.
What was it like working with John Feldman? I'm very interested in hearing how that process went.
Yeah, I mean, John is he's an intense guy, so it was an intense. I don't remember how long we were recording with him for a long time. So it basically like how it happened. What was kind of interesting actually. It's a major label record, but what ended up happening is it was like John. We got the recording budget, and John used the recording budget to buy recording gear and use it at his house. And so we recorded lots of it at his house. And like, nowadays that's not a big deal, but back then,
Oh
it was
yeah.
a huge deal. Like nobody recorded at home. So recording it at his house, and then like we did some stuff at some other studios, but it was a fun experience. And honestly, like when you hear that first record, even from that first record, Showoff prior to that first record was much more straightforward, like pop punk stuff. And like John gets a lot of the credit for producing the record and like kind of giving us influences outside of the pop punk genre.
Mhm.
Like I didn't really listen to Elvis Costello until John gave me a record of Elvis Costello's. He was like, listen to this. And then I was like, I fucking love it. So I listened to it a lot. And yeah, it was intense, and it was a lot of fun. It was the first I've recorded a bunch before that. I had a band called AYA back in the day. And we recorded like many times, but it was just very different because there's a lot of money involved. And of course, you're in the music business at the time, and there's lots of people at the label telling you that you're great, and you're like, there's no chance this guy listens to my style of music, and there's no way he thinks it's great. But then there's other people that like work at the label that you're just like, that these people are awesome, you know?
Right. Now, he's a bit of a perfectionist, right? From what I have like heard of him.
No, I didn't think he was. I mean, I feel like he was, it was intense, but I felt like he was super like laid back as a producer, which is like an incredible lie, because he is not, and he is, yes, a perfectionist altogether.
I was gonna say it's because Chris was already perfect. He didn't have to do much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know this about me, but like, pretty perfect.
Yeah,
No,
not much to work on.
Just you and poop, man.
Yeah, I mean, one take, I'm done with everything.
Yep.
I'm just like, nope, don't even stop. Just put the songs back to back, and I'll go through the whole record one time.
Yep.
Done.
One solid single take all the way through.
Yes.
So
and then they're like, I think that note, and I'm like, no, God damn it, it's perfect.
Evan and Brian, what's it like kind of being the new guys in the group, right? That's got to be, there's some shoes that need filling, and it's got to be kind of a big moment for you guys to be in the group, right?
The hazing has just been brutal.
Yeah, it seems like, Brian, you're getting it the worst. I thought maybe you have to like be quiet the entire show. I thought maybe you were.
I was instructed to, but I'm gonna. It's, it's just been incredible for me. I grew up around here, so I saw Showoff as a kid, with Goldfinger, and just so getting a chance to actually play with these guys, and is a dream come true. So I'm loving it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's been wild. It's been it's Showoff. I'm from Chicago. Showoff is a band that has just kind of always existed. It's just a fixture in the Chicago music scene, and yeah, getting to work with everybody, it's been really, really fun. And there's definitely, like you said, there's some shoes to fill. There's been a ton of really, really talented folks that have come through Showoff, and I try not to think about that too much and just kind of do my own thing and hope it works out. And so far I think we're all right.
Yeah, you guys have great chemistry so far, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, you're relatively new as well. I know you're not as new as Evan and Brian. You've been around for a little bit, but how has that transition been for you, especially given that Chris kind of said that you have a large influence on the sound on this new album?
Well, yeah, I mean, and by that he really means that it's an equal part. Like when we're writing it, that's what's cool about being in this band. And I'll answer with that. That's what's cool is getting into this group was. It's fun that I was finally in a group that was like working on music that I truly like love, and it's like really resonates with me. Like this is a style of music that just kind of comes out, right? You're not just performing somebody else's music; it's like contributing to it. So it's been a great project to that way, and it's really fun, especially with this latest lineup. The newest stuff we're working for the full length. It's the easiest writing experience I've had with any group. Like everybody's getting their fingerprints on it, and we're all like, everybody's putting their creative touch to it. So there's a little bit of different influences from all over, but we're all like pointed in the same direction, and it's just been like easy. So I think that's really neat.
Hell yeah. And I just on looking at your collection there behind you, are you playing all PRSs?
Actually, the majority are Schecters.
Schecters, okay.
And then I got two of the Les Paul looking guitars. Those are LTD EC 1000s. But a bunch of the guitars I mainly play with this band are actually down in the rehearsal space in the basement right now. So these are kind of the other guitars I like to play around with.
Are the top two PRSs though?
Those are Schecters.
Those are Schecters too? Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Harley's a fake guitar player.
Yeah. It's
I mean, it's the body style from a distance, you know.
Yeah, it's based off the Hellraiser, which that was the iconic like new metal guitar that came out in the 2000s, and then but this is the SLS Elite that I like all the stuff that went in there, and I could bore people forever all the modifications I put in the guitar, so I won't do that.
Stop them before it doesn't end.
I played an LT, or I still have my LTD. It's actually hanging on this wall here. I played that pretty much up until I was 25, and then I got a PRS and just fell in love with it. But I'm actually repping this new guitar right here next to me. It's a Hagstrom.
Oh yeah,
and it's great for like a rockabilly sound. It's a really nice, like hefty, like crunchy sound with like some really nice treble tones. So,
He got it because it's blue.
yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
The I've heard great things about Hagstroms, and eventually I will get a PRS. But it's like every time I'm guitar shopping, like I always go for something different, and then I end up seeing like some Schecter that I really I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna get another one. It's in a different color. And I probably am like, I'm probably like one of the few guitar players in the pop punk scene that play with like a Floyd Rose guitar, which that allows you to do all the metally dive bombs and stuff.
Right.
And I remember I actually pulled it out at a rehearsal when we were working on Crimson, off of the on the EP, because I mainly in my other projects have played with the Floyd Roses, and I was just doing it as a joke, and I started making like the dive bomby sounds. I'm like, yeah, I bet you guys don't like this, and they're like, dude, that's awesome. You got to put it on the record. So that's how we did it. And now it's like, so it's just kind of the thing. It's just kind of funny because it was something that my friends always joke that's like my thing is I did dive bombs in my other projects. So then I got to bring it into Showoff that now has infinitely more dive bombs than there were in the past.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
Now, Mickey, I know you play drums. I am not a drummer. However, I have huge respect for drummers, especially good ones.
Mistake number one.
Yeah. Yeah. Drummers do not garner any kind of respect whatsoever from anybody.
But being in Showoff specifically, like your guys' stuff is quicker than things that I typically have played in the past. So what's it like developing like the beat process for this new EP?
Well, filling Dan's shoes, the original drummer is not easy. Dan's probably suffers from some kind of ADHD with drum fills. But I also come from the punk world where playing fast is not it's just something I've been accustomed to. So it hasn't been a huge change. I've also been like a big pop punk drummer. So, but I will say playing with this band, I get to do some things that I wouldn't normally do in an otherwise typical kind of pop punk band, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
I got to think outside the box, put me out of my comfort zone a little bit. Where it's
now,
like, maybe don't trust my first instinct.
Now, because I'm like I said, I'm not a drummer, but your guys' stuff is a little more complex, right? It's not just simple 4/4s. It's you get into some different time signatures. Again,
Yeah,
I'm not a drummer, but
I think one of the things I've always done just as a drummer in like any number of bands that I've played in is try to make things sound simpler than they may be otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Where like I was in a band that like the opening riff in a song was in 7, but for me, like you want people to
Right.
And that's kind of hard in 7, which is why people at Tool concerts just kind of stand there like, you know. But I try to make it sound as if it's in 4.
Okay.
Just because, like, I feel that's easier on the ears, especially
Right.
in like pop punk, where it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to be thinking, you know, like you're just like, this is awesome, is the only thought in your head at a pop punk show, you know. This is so fun, and that's I just want drum parts in songs to be fun,
Right.
even if it's darker or, you know, whatever, you know, edge we might have on the song. Like I just want things to be fun to play and fun to listen to.
Now, how did you and Chris kind of meet? I want to go through everyone's journey with meeting
Grindr.
Chris. I
Knew it.
But back then it was called Friendster.
Back then it was just called Grind. I don't remember how we met. Probably playing shows.
Yeah.
It's been what, 20 something years.
Yeah, like my first band used to play with Showoff a bunch, so we'd cross paths a bunch. You know, being from the Chicago scene is, you know, it's much smaller than people would assume from a big city, but
right. So you've been in Showoff for, let's see, I mean, at least 15 years, right? Roughly
2005, 2006, around there.
Oh, it's almost 20.
Yeah. And then Steve, you joined the band 4-ish years ago, 5 years ago.
It was actually, I joined it over a year and a half ago, so we're approaching 2 years. So it's been March of 23. Chris and I were actually, I met Chris through a mutual friend, and we were actually working on a new band.
Who I met on Grindr.
Chris is on Grindr and still currently is. If anyone wants to find him,
He's got three different profiles with 3 different age brackets.
Yeah. It's still me, but it's me from different decades.
yes.
If I've learned anything today, it's that Chris loves to rep Clorox. He loves to show his feet.
For free.
And he is for sure on Grindr.
For sure on Grindr.
For
Those
sure.
are the clips that I'm putting up when the video comes
Yes.
out. That's
those
just
3
me.
things are all connected too.
Make sure that when you show the Grindr clip, that there's a Manic Cat logo prominently featured. Yeah,
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, we still have to get to this Australian gay porn thing. I haven't forgotten.
Yeah.
We'll make our way there.
Oh, it's something.
I thought it was
I'll tell
fan
you.
fiction.
Yeah, I don't know. What
It was the same. It's the same thing. It was, that was the thing.
It was It's listener written Australian gay erotica.
Yeah.
There it is.
So we were on our way to record. Wait, no,
we're on
were
to
playing
the
the show.
anniversary show.
Yeah, we were on our way to the anniversary show in New York, and like halfway to New York, you know, we're like 6-7 hours into the drive, and Chris just like puts on this like podcast, and I'm like working on my work laptop next to him, and I'm not really paying attention. And like 2 minutes in, all of a sudden you're like hearing, you know, things that are obviously erotica, and we're like, what's going on here? And Chris is like, we got like halfway through the episode. He's like, you want me to turn it off? We're like, no, we have to figure out how this ends now. We're invested in the plot.
Well, does he finish or what?
Yeah. There's like a massage table involved. We were like all talking, trying to like keep track of who was on what position, and yeah.
Full skin.
So, what is this podcast?
Oh man, what was it called?
I don't know if we should plug it because we have a goal to
No.
okay. We
To
won't
be
share it.
on the podcast?
No. This is going to be an off-air conversation.
Yeah, off air.
Okay.
So we can't name the podcast. I don't know how many Australian gay
We can
erotica
name the
podcasts are out
podcast.
there.
No, we can name the podcast. We
Okay.
can't give away the plan.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So,
It was great. The guy was talking about foreskin, and then he stuck his finger in the guy's foreskin and circled around. And I was,
wow.
that's a move, by the way. That's a move. And I'm
Yeah.
like, Well, since it's in Australia, does it go like opposite direction?
It should.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to know. He's like, so I stuck my finger in his foreskin and circled around.
It's just
I was
Steve
like, this is
Irwin.
amazing.
Yeah. This also prompted Chris at the show to ask our label owner's wife if the label owner was in fact circumcised or not.
I need to know.
Hard-hitting questions.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey,
His
listen,
wife comes
I'm
up
a
to me. She's like,
reporter.
yeah. So
You gotta
yeah,
ask the
Pete's wife runs up to me. She's like, "You're never gonna guess what Chris asked me." I was like, "He asked if Pete was circumcised, didn't he?"
The question was asked of me the first time I came over to try out.
I was going to say, Brian, I think that this whole story was kind of they went into telling us about this within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, there was
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of excitement.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised
This
it took us this long to talk about on this podcast.
I was
to
sold
be
immediately.
honest.
That's really funny.
I mean,
Yeah.
if I heard that, it would consume my life. I'd be
Yeah.
it's like seeing
Right.
a ghost.
Well, you're gonna know what the name of the podcast is because it's probably also going to be the name of the next record.
Yes.
It totally should be.
That would be
The best part of that podcast is the guy's like, and he reached around. He started jerking me off. And then he's like, I reached climax. And I was like, fuck.
We must have
Yeah.
must have rewound and listened to that like 15 times.
It was like that episode of Silicon Valley where they're like, Google.
Yeah.
Pied Piper.
Holy shit, that's funny. That's so funny.
Oh,
my
so good.
God.
We listened to that like 30 times in a row.
Yeah,
And
it
then
was-
like the whole time we're out there, like we would just like randomly play it.
Yeah.
go back.
It's like watching Anchorman for the first time. It's so quotable.
God. It made my entire
That's
trip.
funny.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
so funny.
it was one of the most memorable parts of that trip. So
I would hope so.
Yeah, it's.
I
not
don't
something
I
you're
don't
gonna do.
remember I don't remember anything else.
West Haverstraw Bagel.
I remember that.
I do remember how excited Ryan Cabrera was when I gave him the button though.
Oh yeah, that was great.
The button. What's the?
I made so the world allows you to do things as an adult that it shouldn't.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like allow me to have a button maker.
A button maker.
Yeah, so
Like
I
a
can,
machine.
make my own buttons. Yeah.
Button as in button you push or button you put on your shirt?
On your shirt.
like you put on your shirt.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like a
Okay.
pin.
So
yeah.
I at one point jokingly took one of Ryan Cabrera's promo pictures of that. I mean, you've seen him. He's fucking a very handsome man.
Oh yeah.
Very.
And I put our logo over it. And then I was trying to get Pete to make it a t-shirt.
That's
and
so funny.
to much resistance. So then I made a bunch of buttons out of it, and Ryan was at the the anniversary shows. So I made about a dozen of them and gave them to Ryan, to which he immediately put one on.
That's
And then handed them out to everybody. Pete was like so excited at that point, and I was like, motherfucker, you fought this
Yeah. Could have had t-shirts.
at every chance. And I was like, dude, just make like 5 shirts. It would be hilarious if we wore those shirts.
Oh, he would.
Yes.
He would have loved it too.
And
He
it's
would've
just the
loved
band.
it.
We
Well,
had
yeah.
him on the show, I think last year.
Probably.
It was right when he signed with Manic and put out the Prescription of You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was so fucking
Oh,
fun.
he's a
man.
great time.
He was so fun.
Yeah, the second I we introduced ourselves and like talked for a second, and then Pete's like, he's got a gift for you, and it was like super awkward. Yeah, Pete and his fucking spiky hair. But yeah, like I handed him the button. He's like, oh my god, dude, can I have this? Yeah, man, it's for you.
It's your face.
Remember when Creepy Pete said it was a gift?
we did trivia with him,
Yeah.
and I did all of this research on Ryan Cabrera and found out that he was friends with all these wrestlers, and his wife's a wrestler. So I
Yeah.
made an entire category of trivia about wrestling. He
He
doesn't know
knew
jack shit about
nothing.
wrestling.
He was like,
Nothing
I cannot
at
tell you
all.
one thing about wrestling.
I was so embarrassed. I was like, I did all of this work for
As you should
nobody.
be.
Showoff and Digimon.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was really embarrassing, actually.
Yeah, the entire quiz after this is name every Digimon. And
Yes.
we're gonna-
I was gonna ask you guys what your favorite Digimon is, but never mind.
Let me not Google that right now.
Roku.
Yeah.
Agumon for
Clorox.
everybody.
I'm
I'm gonna guess Digimon.
Digimon.
It is time for a game, though, guys. Are you ready to play a game?
Yeah.
Guys, I can't
Oh,
open
yeah.
it.
Be
Before
careful.
we play the game,
Mickey's really competitive, so
Shakespeare. Why does
dude,
everyone?
my
does everyone
skeleton's
have
in the
a skull?
basement. Should I go
Everyone
grab
has a
Skella,
skull?
Steve?
Yeah, you should.
How do I open this?
What if I do
Is
that?
Dude, that's hilarious.
That's good. Skeletor.
I need that
so
pin.
funny. Stupid rat. That's badass.
Is
Telling
he
you, I
also
have
going to
stupid
get a
rat shit
skeleton?
all over my house.
So does everybody have Skeletor skeletons?
Yeah, we didn't get the memo. They have that and hats.
I have Sean the Shark that we use for promoting the show at the end of the show. That's all I got.
Ah.
Little Sean the Shark.
Sean the Shark?
Yeah, little Sean the Shark, man.
Yeah.
Sean the Shark. Do, 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 do.
I
The
got-
skeleton actually has wheels.
That's
Your
so fun
skeleton has wheels.
to
Yeah.
wheel him around the
Like-
house.
Yeah, because he shows off. Ah,
It's
see,
like-
I can do it too.
Uh-huh.
If the batteries were in it, which they're not, it like it rolls around on the table.
That's
It's
fun.
it's like a Roomba, but a skeleton.
But a skeleton. That's a whole skeleton.
Yeah, that's
whole
the-
guy.
That's a skeleton I'm kissing in the Day You Left video.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, did you
That's-
guys watch the Day You Left music video?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I did. Taylor
Did you
did.
think the
but I
grandma
did.
was hot?
Yeah.
Can we look it up right now?
You should also know that my face really made contact with the side of the car.
Yeah.
No shit.
That was
Not
100%
planned?
real.
Was it not planned though?
No, not at all.
No, it wasn't
My
even
favorite part of the
in to the van,
Yeah.
not into the van, but
yeah.
inside of the van.
Yeah.
Instead, he
I lost
face
my-
planted into the van.
I lost my footing and just right into it. My favorite moment of that, it's my face slapping. It was Chris immediately going, "What the fuck was that?"
There's
just
this
heard
band,
thump.
there's
like,
this
what the
band that you guys have to check out after this. They're called Flight Club, and they have this music video.
Oh, it's so
It's
funny.
so fucking funny. It's a blow up doll, and the band is just, hey, he's got a Sean the Shark. It's just like this guy is in love with this blow up doll, and the blow up doll is like married to another blow up doll, and he's the other guy that's cheating with the blow up doll. It's
It's
great.
really
Kind of
funny.
well
sounds like they
filmed.
stole our idea, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Who do we need
I-
to sue?
You gotta bring the skeleton back. It was like a father son
stole
duo. I
it.
liked
It
that.
was, yeah.
All right, we're
Are we
running
ready?
out of time, Taylor. It is
Oh,
time for some
okay.
trivia. So you guys are all on a team against me. I am
Okay.
a music
You're not gonna.
whiz. So
Okay.
Okay,
You
guy
got
in the
to choose
room with the
questions,
cards.
though? I feel like this is rigged.
I also feel like you could. Never mind.
what, you want to split it up?
I was gonna say we could do 3 teams of 2.
We could do that.
This is
I'm
getting
for that.
complicated.
This
It
is
is
getting
getting
very
complicated.
complicated. What if I just read it out and then whoever answers gets the point?
That works too.
Okay, cool. Because I already wrote everyone's name down.
Can we
Okay.
redeem
All
these
right.
points for something later?
Yeah,
sure, you want
they're-
something?
They're able to be exchanged for one Ryan Cabrera pen.
All right. All right. Is this just everybody yell at the same time to answer, or are we gonna do a?
Let's do raise the hand.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay. And if there's a tie, you guys have to do a dance, and then I will
Okay.
decide who wins.
Can I
Okay.
pre-answer?
Yeah.
Full of skin.
That's
And I
the
win.
first answer.
Okay, I'm guessing answer number 2 is Brian Adams.
All
Same
right.
thing.
Who sung "Addicted to Love" in 1986?
Don't everybody answer at once.
You can
Mike,
just say it.
Was that Robert Palmer?
Yeah.
Might as well face it, you're addicted to love.
Oh, I had to play that song once.
That's not part of the answer, Steve.
Who released the 1987 album Hysteria?
Def Leppard.
Yeah.
Chris doesn't follow the whole hand raising
Yeah.
thing.
Side
But you're
note,
raising
Def,
Negative 10 points.
You're only able to
Silver
raise
was just
one
saying
hand
out
for
loud.
that one.
side note, Def Leppard once gave me some ribeye steaks.
no shit. The whole band or one person?
No, the band collectively as a unit. It was like their. Never mind. We can talk about it later.
Quick
Oh,
fire's
that was
always not quick for us.
I'm restraining myself.
Who reached number 1 in 10 countries with Shut Up Face? Shut Up
What?
Face? Shut Up Face? New one. I don't know how to say that.
I
Or
don't know
that.
what the answer is.
No fucking comment.
With which Billie Holiday song did Alison Moyet have a hit? Moyet?
I feel like Chris would know this one. He's old enough.
You look 90. Don't make fun of me.
I have a disease.
You're wasting away. Dude, I'll be
Because I work.
picking you up and carrying you into shows.
You look like Rob
You'll be
Deerdak's
like
older
holding
brother.
you like Voldemort when he was like that thing.
Yeah, my
Creepy little
My
bear.
weight
Carrying you
loss-
into the show.
my weight loss is due to working out too much.
Was it at last?
We're gonna end up using you as a drumstick eventually.
Yeah.
Uh,
Was the song at last?
no.
Oh, then I don't know.
Ooh. Anyone else know?
I don't think so.
Do you want me to read off?
Give me the first letter.
T.
That didn't help.
Tonight.
Turn back time.
For sure.
Time
not.
after time.
No. Do you want me to give you the answer? Do we collectively give up?
I
Yeah.
give up.
That old devil called love.
Oh,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was my third guess.
No idea.
Sure.
Harley,
That
I
was
thought
right
you
there.
said you were really good at music.
Harley's a liar.
What
We're
happened?
not even a
Harley
real
feels
podcast.
bad. He sees how terrible we are, and he
I'm being
doesn't want to
nice.
show us up.
Yeah.
Sure. Who had the hit with "Don't You Forget About Me" in 1985?
Culture. No. What's their name?
Glass Tiger?
What? No.
No.
No, I don't know.
Simple Minds?
It
Yes.
is the simple one.
There you go.
I
Seven
just know
wins.
Breakfast Club. That's all.
The Breakfast Clubs.
Yeah, the Breakfast Clubs.
Forget about Brian.
Who had a hit with "Ride on Time" in 1989?
Ride on time.
Ride on Time. RIDE.
2 Live Crew.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
That sounds like a
One-
fucking Bon Jovi song title.
It does.
That is also not correct.
Run DMC.
Right on
No.
time.
I don't
Flocka
know.
Flocka.
Flocka Flocka.
No.
Right said Fred. Falco.
Black Box.
Whack
I don't
Box.
even know who that is.
I have no idea.
Brian, you should have known that. It's your favorite musical group and or artist.
Yes.
I'm useless in this.
These questions blow.
These are hard. What color door gave Shakin' Stevens an 80s hit?
Red?
Shakin' Stevens, you're making these up. Like this is like a joke on us, right?
Can we
Like,
get some of
Real
those?
Pursuit.
Can we get some
yeah,
of those
what
wrestling
was the number
questions
one song
instead?
by Purple Shoelaces in 1987?
Did you buy these at the fucking Dollar Tree? What's happening?
I mean, not the Dollar
Was
Tree,
this
but
the
like Five Below.
1880s
They're
or
different. I don't even know how to say these.
This is falling apart fast.
Did you get the version in English?
Is this the Wish version?
The Wish version.
The
Emu.
Digimon
The
version?
Digimon version.
Digimon version of the
Oh. It was green.
All right. She's going through all the questions. It's going to be everyone that we know.
Yeah.
So that's I also have no musical knowledge. I shouldn't be on this podcast, but I am.
So why? That's fine. So why are you rifling through the questions?
Because you're not gonna know these answers.
How do you know?
Never know.
Because you
You
didn't know
never-
the other ones.
You never asked.
All right. Let's see. Morton Harkett was the lead singer of which band?
Love that guy.
Striper.
I'm pretty sure it's Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh,
Wasp.
No.
the original. Hooter and the Blowfish.
We give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Aha.
Ah,
Aha.
Ah,
Now you see why I was shuffling through them.
You're like you're looking at the answers, be like, hey, I've actually heard of that person.
I think we would have fared much better at not 80s music trivia games.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
I wasn't
Yeah.
alive yet.
This is same. So.
Yeah. All right, we'll do one more and then we'll start doing the promos.
Oh, okay.
Michael Jackson.
Robert Bell is the real name of which artist?
Alexander Graham Bell,
I was just gonna say.
inventor of the telephone.
And the bell.
I think Chris wins.
Yes.
Radio.
Radio.
No. Would
That's
you
not a
guys like?
sing-
There's options. Do you want me to say the options?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay. DJ Jazzy Jeff, Cool, Suggs, or LL Cool J.
What was the name?
Robert Bell.
Is
Yeah,
LL
that's
Cool
LL Cool
J
J.
actually? That's 80s.
It's.
That,
Yeah.
I know it's not LL Cool J. That's the only one that I know.
No, yeah. Go listen to LL Cool J songs, by the way, from the 80s. They're fucking terrible. The
I
lyrics
think-
are
I feel like
awful.
every-
The lyrics are awful.
I feel like they're all awful, right? No, I shouldn't say that. Somebody's gonna be like, "I love LL Cool J." If
I
that's
never
your thing,
listened to
I'm not
LL Cool
yucking
J.
your yum.
LL
I'm
Cool
gonna say
J,
Jazzy
the
Jeff.
actor?
Yeah, I only know him as an actor. It is not Jazzy Jeff, but I love the name Jazzy Jeff.
Cool in the gang.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
yeah, that would make sense.
Anywho,
All right.
You could have literally made up whatever and
You
we
could have.
would
I know.
believe you.
Told us
Oh,
we were
yeah.
right every time.
but I like telling you guys you're wrong. You see what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
You
All
sound
right,
like Mickey's
so-
wife.
Well lost.
Yeah, I don't hear it
Yeah.
enough from my wife.
We're all losers.
You're
today.
all losers.
Yeah, yeah.
Show off.
What are you? You
That's
sound
why we're
like
in a
my
pop
daughter.
punk band. No, you don't enter a pop punk band because you're like, we're winners. You know, we're a bunch of losers.
Yeah. Pop punk bands aren't made up of the cool kids. All right.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
You guys were signed to Madonna's label at one point, though.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Then they threw us off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also pretty cool.
Yeah.
you
Look
do?
how Chris. Yeah.
What?
I said, what'd you do to get thrown off?
Oh, well, we want to talk about that.
Okay.
They only signed him because they thought Chris was going to have just as big of boobs as Madonna, and then
Yeah.
they were really, really disappointed.
And
in
it
his
didn't
boob
happen.
size.
They
Yeah.
definitely
this pod-
didn't sign us
Yeah.
for that purpose.
This podcast ended 30 seconds ago, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right before Steve answered that question.
All right. So the band Show Off. You guys are incredible. New EP is out. Go listen to it. I think it's incredible. And what do you guys want to promote for upcoming dates?
When does this
Right.
come out?
This comes out January
20th.
20th.
Well, get a time machine and
And
And go back a month.
Yeah, we have a show on December 20th. So if people
it
wanna
was
look at the
awesome. When you
video
listen
on
to
it-
this, it was amazing. You missed out.
Yeah.
The
Like-
lineup was incredible. I saw
was.
the lineup on
Yeah.
your Instagram. It's incredible.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it'll be a fun
Yeah.
show. But we're also in the midst of writing for a full length right now. So people can look forward to hearing that. And honestly, we have like 3 songs probably that are maybe 4 that are done, like pretty close to being done at least, and they are like for sure easily the best stuff that Showoff's ever done. So
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
We will also be playing a bunch of shows. So
yes,
just keep on the lookout. Follow us on our socials.
Yep. The
You can go to
Instagram is huge.
go to showoffband.com. That's showoffband.com, and there's a link tree to take you to all the different places.
We gotta get Steve to do our stuff.
HTTP
www.
look up a map and then go.
showband.com.
Yeah.
Use our promo code Showoff Band wherever you use promo codes.
It won't work, but it'll be hilarious when
It'll be a good time though.
Yeah.
Strictly for 15% off your subscription on Grindr.
Yep.
So since you guys are Clorox, since you guys are going to be playing that show, it's already happened. Little fun banter for you when you're out there. You can talk to Eve 6 about this. Their label sued my show in our first year.
They did.
For using the big hit that Eve 6 had back in the 90s, something Inside Out, yeah.
The Heart in a Blender song?
Yep. I used we were doing a birthday episode where we were talking about our favorite songs on a playlist, and that was in my playlist, and I played like the first 10 seconds. And
they got us.
They were like, cease and desist order.
You only get 8 notes.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You only get 8 notes, man.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Well, you can use our songs, right, guys?
Yeah.
You could use
Hey.
Showoff.
Hey, you guys are saying it. Don't tempt me.
We watched Digimon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did one better than I have, so
yeah. we can tell you can use our songs. However, that's got to get by Pete. Pete's going to be the one
Pete
coming
will
after
sue
you.
us with his spiky hair.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll send you a letter and say cease and desist.
I've only known Pete for like a year or so, but I can tell he hasn't changed his hairstyle in at least 20 years.
That checks out.
You do know that I have to send this to Pete, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
guys,
You know he will not last this long. He's going to be so stimulus by then.
Not many will.
Listen. Lindsay is fantastic.
Lindsay's
She's
the
a
one
gem
who
of a human
actually
being.
runs the label. We all know it.
Yeah. She's a gem of a human being.
We also have a Lindsay that runs our label.
We do have a lead.
Yeah. You should know that Pete and Chris had a weight loss contest that I won.
So he's taking like whatever Wegovy. So he's not actually
Moonjaro.
in, just so you know. There's no effort on his part, so don't act like you won. All
Taking
right?
the easy way out.
That's right.
It's medically necessary. My Moonjaro is medically necessary.
Yeah, and it made you look like an old man with disease. If you take the hat and glasses off, he's just a thumb.
Listen, the hat and glasses are what's keeping me from withering away.
The hat and glasses are what give your face definition.
You know what, like the wicked.
Benjamin Button at the end.
You know, like how in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. How,
At the end.
Yeah, that's what happens if I take
Don't
off my hat
spoil
and
it.
glasses.
I don't know Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I have not watched it yet. Don't spoil it.
What?
Wow.
I think it's been enough years that it's your fault at this point.
Yeah.
It's Doc Brown.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, guys. It has been an awesome show.
Oh, absolute
I
pleasure.
got a baby to go take care of. So
That's true.
Yeah.
I got to take care of.
Yeah.
To go to his house.
I gotta go to a fucking 12-year-old's volleyball game.
I got to take my dog to play practice.
That's not a lie. That's not a lie.
That is not a
Don't
lie.
e-
That is.
Do not end the podcast on that note. I swear to fucking
I think
God.
Brian should say something to end this
Yeah.
podcast. He's not talking.
Nah.
Drop
Brian,
some
what are
words of
your
wisdom,
plans?
B.
What did you say? Sorry.
What are your plans?
Oh, my plans. Go make sure that my kids are still alive, and
Okay,
then
that's a good plan. Actually,
if they
yeah,
are, give them food so that they
Great.
keep living.
that's a really
Right on.
great plan.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks
It's
for having
been
us.
Thanks for having
incredible.
us.
You guys are welcome back anytime you want.
Yeah.
You
All
guys
right,
are
see you
so much
tomorrow.
fun. Hey, I'll do one tomorrow. I got 2 already tomorrow, so I'll
All
do
right.
a third.
Why not?
There you
All
go.
right, so
Third
we'll be
time.
back here at 8:00, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, fine, cool.
We're warmed up.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks,
See
y'all.
you later.
Thank you.